Welcome and thank you for joining me. In this session, I am going to walk you step by step through our amazing Cruise Finder booking engine. Here you can search for and compare every cruise departure around the world from all of the major cruise lines and then secure your ideal cruise in Australian dollars, all within one streamlined platform. Our system means that instead of visiting multiple cruise lines websites and repeating the same search again and again, you will be able to access live availability in real time. We're going to go through applying the right filters, finding the right room, and completing your booking in Australian dollars. Search engine main page. You'll see here that we have Cruise Finder, which is what we're going to predominantly use this for. We do have a few packaged holidays and then we also have some generic hot deals. So what we're going to do is, you can see here we've got 60,792 sailings. So we need to narrow that down quite a bit to find the perfect one. So we're going to click Search Cruises. And down here on the left hand side, this is what we're going to use to filter our options. My recommendation first of all is, if you do know roughly when you're going to be travelling, to put in those dates. Let's say we're going to be travelling in September 2027, and you can of course select multiple dates, but we're going to do September 27 and we apply that filter. So now we've only got 2,000 to search from. So the next one, really, it depends on you, because you may know where you want to go. You may know which cruise lines you do or don't want to travel. You might know the departure port, so you only want to sail from Sydney, for example. So really what you do next is up to you, but mainly the destination is going to be most people's next filter. So now we have 41 itineraries. So we could leave it at this and go through those 41 itineraries. So we can sort them by the departure date, the cruise line, so we can see all of the cruise lines together and then look at the next cruise line and then look at the next cruise line. Or we might be very interested in particular prices. So what we can do here is we can view the itinerary. There may be several departures. We can also look at the cruise line. So also we can add to our comparisons. So put them in our comparisons and we do our compare. If we decide that that is the one that we want, we click continue. This will then bring up the information on the cruise line. So we can add in children. So this will all be in the same room. So we have to do it per room. So you can't do multiple cabins in the one booking. It does have to be individual. So we can do up to 4 guests in most rooms. Children, we have to put the ages in, but we're just going to leave it as 2 adults. If anyone is over the age of 55, we can tick this box. We can also put our past passenger number in there, because that's also, if we've travelled with them before, going to bring up any potential savings that we have. We can check if there's any accessible rooms, and also if there are any interconnecting cabins, which if you are travelling as a family with children, you may want that. We want 2 people and we are going to book it. Okay, so with our rooms, we can choose inside, ocean view, balcony and suite. But from each category, we can also decide where we want to be. And when we've found the one that we're after, you'll see here. So this one is a buy one get one half off offer. And what you need to remember with this pricing is that that is already taken into consideration. So you will not be getting further discounts. Here, so this one is a non-refundable deposit. If we want a more flexible option, then we're going to spend a little bit more money, but we know if we cancel up to a certain period, we are going to get our money back. So if you need that flexibility. This one here, we can see we have the all included. So we can have one or more fare on the sailing, either the drinks package or the Wi-Fi. So we can choose which one we want. And again, cruise lines like to have lots of different fare prices, so it's really about finding the one that's right for you. So we've decided we want the drinks package included. We're going to book now. And it gives you a friendly reminder so that we don't mind necessarily that if we cancel, we're going to lose our deposit. We just want that price including the drinks package. So here we then have our room selection. So we can see that this particular room type that we've chosen is only available on deck 8. And we can see that they are located in the centre, which is where the red lights are flashing, which is why the price, you know, has gone up a little bit more than say the 3.8 that we were initially looking at. So we can scroll down here and we want this room, which is going to be 8107 because it's the most in the middle. And we now have our summary. So we can see that our total price is $10,432. This is a breakdown. So this is the cruise fare. These are your taxes. And this is the total per person that you are going to pay. So we can see here that our deposit is $900 and our finals are due on the 4th of June. Then add our passenger details. It's very important if you have a middle name to add your middle name, because they will need that for when you get on board, and sending out tickets will be a bit of a problem. Some cruise lines also charge a change fee if we have to make changes to the name or add middle names. So it's very important to add that if it's on your passport or whatever ID you're using, to add it in at this stage. Date of birth, and if you are a past passenger, to add it in here. The nationality, that is what is showing on your identification. So if, like myself, you were born in England but you'll be travelling with an Australian passport, you put Australia. If you were travelling on a British passport but you live in Australia, you would put your you would put your nationality as British. So whatever is on the ID that you will be using when you board the ship. And we go book. A lot of the cruise lines, the major ones today, Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, Holland America, Cunard, they have the different dining times. So this is really great that you can get all of that done up front and you don't have to start worrying about it closer to departure. We can waitlist. We want 6 people and we would like twin beds because we're not married. Or we might be married and we just want twin beds. This is important if you are traveling, because you can only book 1 cabin per booking. So if you are traveling with multiple people, then you can add their reservations in here, and that will cross-link you so that they know you want to dine at the same table, or you may be on some coaches together doing excursions and that kind of thing. So you just add them in here. All of these things here, if you don't know when you're making the booking, or if someone else books later, or if you want to make changes, these are all things that you can contact us post booking and we will of course assist you with them. And okay, so we now have 3 options. So the first one is that we want to hold this room. We want to know that we've got this room for X amount of time. It's usually 24 hours. So we want to know that that room is there at that price while we go away and discuss, have a look at flights, have a look at hotels, have a look at the rest of the holiday. We can hold that in and know that it's still there. Or we can save this whole thing as a quote. The pricing won't be confirmed, so it won't hold the price, but at least we've got a quote that we know when we're coming back to it which cruise we were looking at, what date, and what room type that we looked at. Or you can continue to payment. And if you can continue to payment, you will be required to put in a credit card. It'll tell you how much will be charged, and then you'll complete the details. Of course, this is all done securely and will be paid out to the cruise lines, usually within 24 hours of making the booking. Sometimes it's instant, the payment will go straight from here to the cruise line, but it's usually within 24 hours what payment. You will then receive email confirmation, which will have reference numbers that you need to do online check-ins with cruise lines. It'll have contact details for our agents who will be assigned to you to look after your booking and who will be your point of contact moving forward. And of course, any questions that you may have, you can get in contact with us. So thank you very much for your time today. This is our amazing cruise engine, which I suppose is the cruise version of like your Skyscanners and your Webjets, where you want to look at lots of different cruises, and rather than going to different cruise lines websites and doing the search a million times to find which one's right for you, you come to here, you put in the information that you know, and it will give you all of the options from all of the major cruise lines across the world with live pricing and availability